You may have seen the widely popular viral campaign video from Sean Parnell. He's running for Congress. I believe he's in the Pittsburgh area. He's recently raised a ton of money, likely off of this amazingly viral video, and it's resulted in something kind of weird. He's raised, I believe, something like $250,000 more than the Democrat incumbent. This is incredible news for Trump supporters and Republicans, as this dude who's challenging the woke far left and standing up for America and a lot of conservative values is just out fundraising Conor Lamb, the Democrat, by a ton of money. This is fascinating. Well, what do you think happened when the news came out? Conor Lamb's spokesman tells Congressman's GOP opponent to burn in hell and die. Wow. Well, politics, eh? Let's read what's going on with Mr. Sean Parnell, who's doing very, very well. I recommend you check him out. Full disclosure, I did donate to his campaign. To be fair, I donated way more to Democrats. And as we're now entering, closer to the election cycle, I got to put my money where my mouth is. As we've gone further into this cycle, the Democrats have gone, in my opinion, increasingly insane. The Democrats that I supported were challenging the lunacy of the left. That's, for the most part, what I was going for. And, probably a waste of money. Well, partly because a lot of them lost. Check it out. I donated to Tulsi Gabbard early on because she opposed the Middle Eastern wars. And I was like, hey, man, if that's all I get from it, I'm happy. Well, now that Donald Trump is actually trying to pull the troops out, even Tulsi's supporting his move to try and pull the troops out of the Middle East, I'll take what I can get. And that means Donald Trump. I am not 100%, saying I will vote for him, but I'm definitely leaning in that direction. But Sean Parnell has talked about a lot of important values as well. And I thought, considering he stood up for some things I thought were important, notably standing up to the far left insanity, he's worthy of a donation as well. I believe many people agreed with him. Check this out. Conor Lamb outraised by PA challenger. Sean Parnell did something few challengers or political novices do. He outraised the incumbent House Democrat he is challenging, even though the 2020 election cycle is not expected to be kind to Republicans. Parnell, a U.S. Army combat veteran, raised an impressive $717,364 in the second quarter compared to Rep. Conor Lamb, a fellow military man who raised $444,184 in his bid to defend his Western Pennsylvania House seat. Quote, an incumbent getting outraised by a challenger is often a red flag in House and Senate races, and Parnell was one of just a handful of Republicans in competitive districts to outraise a Democratic incumbent, said Kyle Kondik, managing editor of Sabato's Crystal Ball, a nonpartisan political analysis from University of Virginia Center for Politics. That's a feather in Parnell's cap. Lamb's first victory came in the spring of 2018 when he won a narrow special election race for the old 18th congressional district. Lamb won again, this time easily, in a newly created suburban seat in the 2018 general election over fellow Congressman Keith Rothfuss, a Republican. Pennsylvania's state Supreme Court redrew districts mid-cycle in 2018, a move that many argued favored Democrats. Currently, the Pennsylvania House delegation partisan split is 9 Republicans and 9 Democrats. This is huge. We got more. Check this out. Kondik cautioned, Parnell is going to have to run a strong campaign to win as a challenger in this district, particularly if the overall environment for Republicans is poor. Money is a key part of running a strong campaign, although it's not the only thing. In the second quarter of 2018, 56 Democrats outraised Republican incumbents, but less than half of them won. So it's not always a sign that an incumbent is going to lose. Dare I say it is a sign that the polls are wrong and the fundraising may be wrong. We may be seeing last-ditch efforts from Democratic fundraisers, political action committees, and individuals desperately trying to raise money, forming some kind of hard activist base against, I'm going to say it, the silent majority. But when it comes to someone like Sean, the silent majority need not be silent because his viral campaign video was really attention-grabbing and a lot of people stepped up. Admittedly, when I saw that viral video, I thought it was fantastic. I agreed with a decent amount of what he was saying. More importantly, he put out a video after the fact where it's very, very ominous, and he straight up calls out the far left, the destruction of our statues of Jefferson, Washington, and the cultural encroachment of intersectionalism. Not specifically, but I get the point. And I was like, hey, man, we need that. Look, when it comes to voting for Republicans or Democrats right now, we are seeing a large shift of liberals joining the Trump train. I don't know if it'll be enough. They refer to us as the politically homeless. We're liberals. You're socially liberal people. We're urban dwelling, left leaning, but the left has gone nuts. So here I am saying I will take what I can get. Give me a principled conservative who agrees with me on shutting down the illiberal intersectionalism, the destruction of our founding fathers' statues, of our founding documents. I'm going to go for it, man. I'm sorry. I'm not going to play games. We need someone who's going to stand up to the insanity, and I believe Sean Parnell will do that. So again, full disclosure, I did donate to the guy, but this is serious news. We have somebody who could actually win and take back one of these Democrat seats. They say the district is tailored for either candidate. It ranges from the culturally conservative working class and union households in Beaver County, who have seen an economic resurgence thanks to the new ethane cracker plant under construction, to the rural and exurban voters in Butler County, to the heavily populated, progressive, and wealthy Mount Lebanon suburb of Allegheny County that Lamb calls home. One possible hurdle for Parnell is that this district, because of those suburban voters, may be one of those places that switch from voting for Trump to Biden in 2020. Trump won the district by some 10,000 votes in 2016. Senator Pat Toomey, who ran the same year, won it by just over 16,000 votes. We'll see, man. But I think the Trump train is going to change things. I think you're going to see a lot of people show up for Trump, and they're going to check mark the R across the board. And that's going to be big. That's going to be big, big, big news. Now, what do you think? As I mentioned earlier, the response has been not good. Connor Lamb's spokesman, I believe, is actually Connor Lamb's brother. And I also believe he ain't too happy. Take a look at this story from the Examiner. Rep. Connor Lamb's campaign spokesman, who is also the congressman's brother, retweeted another user's tweet to advocate for the death of Pennsylvania Democrats' Republicans' opponent, Sean Parnell. Saturday morning, Coleman Lamb retweeted another Twitter user who wrote, "Burn in hell and die." Wow. Within the retweet, the elder Lamb added, "Can add Sean Parnell USA here." Amazing. The burn in hell and die tweet was later deleted by the original user, but a screenshot of both tweets was preserved. It is disappointing that Connor Lamb's brother, a leader in his campaign, would stoop so low as to call for the death of a political opponent. It is a distasteful and hateful rhetoric that has no place in political discourse, Parnell said in a statement. I'll tell you what, that right there is why I'm much more inclined to support someone like Parnell. I don't live in the district. I know I've said it several times. I'm not a fan of outside money flooding in, but this is the way it works in this country. You got outside individuals funding Ocasio-Cortez and Connor Lamb. And I saw Sean Parnell and I thought he was a principled guy. I thought his ad was hilarious. I looked at some of his policy positions. I said, okay, I'll donate to the guy. I do not completely agree. I'm the milquetoast fence sitter for the most part. Everybody, jokingly says it. It's actually someone commented one time and I thought it was funny, so I kind of pushed it. But when I voted for when I supported a lot of these Democrats with fundraising, with donations, I don't agree with a lot of their platforms. It's usually me saying like, I agree with this or that. So, I'll contribute. Same is true for Sean Parnell. But I'll tell you this right now. I don't care if Sean Parnell believes in a bunch of things that I don't agree with. Now, sure, if the dude was a fringe lunatic like the far left, I'd say straight up no to it. But Sean Parnell, he's an American. He's a vet. He believes something, like he's probably got some policy positions. I'm probably like, I don't know about that one. So he's, for the most part, he's an okay dude. I agree with some of his positions. But look what he's up against. Coleman Lamb can add Sean Parnell here to this list, burn in hell and die. No way, dude. I do not want anyone who's going to have that kind of rhetoric to be getting the reins in the federal government, even if it's just in Congress. Nah, man. I can disagree with policy positions. I can sit down and have a drink with someone like Sean Parnell and be like, no, you're completely wrong about that policy. I disagree, sir. And then you know what happens? We get a big old order of wings and nachos and we talk about why we disagree. And then we end with not agreeing. When I sat down with Glenn Beck in Texas, we talked about pro-life versus pro-choice, and I'm pro-choice. And at the end of it, I was like, I understand. I actually agree with the points you're making. But I still see a liberty issue, an ethics issue that puts me on the other side. And we end with a handshake, and wow, good conversation. I don't know how to solve that problem. We have ethical differences, but we agree to live together and try and figure out the best way to understand each other and work through this. Coleman Lamb, he can apologize, and I'm willing to it. Personally, I'll say, okay, man, if he apologizes. But I'm sorry, dude. If Connor Lamb's going to be part of a campaign where they're even jokingly saying that Sean should burn it, should die, or even burn in hell. That's a level of rhetoric I'm scared of. I'm not happy with. Look, normally there may be circumstances where maybe 10 years ago I'd be like, oh, shut up, moving on. But considering the level of violence, the riots, the extremism, nah, we can't support this. No way. You give me any politician and they say, I believe in peaceful, nonviolent discussion and argument, and their opponent says die, I'll say, I'll take the other guy. Done. They can be a religious Christian moral conservative. And I'll be like, as long as they agree to engage peacefully, respectfully, and in good faith, give them my vote. But if you come out and say die, I don't care what you believe. You could agree with everything I say except that. Nope, sorry, don't care. I'd rather have a bunch of conservatives who are agreeing to sit down with me and have a conversation in charge of the government than these people, the far left extremists. I'll leave it there. So I'll wish good luck to Sean. Again, full disclosure, I donated to the guy. That's just me. But we'll see how things play out come November. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 10 a.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out.